Hello grade 12 students and welcome to a new technical English lesson. Today we will study Review Unit A, Part 3, Coursebook pages 18 and 19, Workbook page 13. Let's start our lesson. Let's start with the objectives of today's lesson. After studying this lesson, you will be able to complete a dialogue with the correct form of given verbs, rewrite sentences by changing nouns into verbs, discuss the 4 stages of the treatment of medical waste process. Now please open your coursebook page 18 exercise 9. Complete the dialogue below using the correct form of the verb in brackets. All you have to do is to just complete the dialogue. You have 5 minutes to complete the dialogue. When you finish, please play the video again to check your answers. Welcome back again, my dear students. Now let's check your answers. Okay, as it is the middle of March, could you give me a quick progress report on the project? What? And you have to use you do up until now. Up until now, here we have to use the present perfect tense. Good. So the answer will be, have you done? What have you done until now? Well, we designed the complete bridge at the end of January. Here, they are in March now, and they are talking about something which happened in the past, so we have to use the past symbol. We designed. Good. And we already construct. Already. What tense do we use with already? Good. Present perfect. Have already constructed. Okay? Good. So what you do at this moment? At this moment refers to which tense? Good. The present continuous. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right now, the polymer department. Right now. Be careful of the words here. Right now means that we have to use the present continuous. Good. Is prefabricating. Good. The plastic deck that ready before the end of March. Here I'm talking about something which will happen in the future, so we will use will be ready. Okay? Right. So you manufacture the other components yet. Do you remember when do we use yet? We use yet with the present perfect. Good. What have you manufactured? What have you manufactured? Let's move to number 8. No, we not make them all yet. Repeat it yet again here. So we haven't made. So we use yet at the end of a negative sentence here. And in the previous sentence, it is at the end of a question. Good. But the tool shop make them right now. Right now, do you remember? Excellent. Present continuous is making. And they probably finish the work soon. Here I'm talking about probably means something which will happen in the future. Will probably finish the work soon after the deck is ready. Good. Okay, that's fine. So when you transport the deck section to the site, I'm asking about something that will happen in the future. When will you transport? Okay. Number 12, the team take it over there on installation day. This will happen in the future also. Will take. On the same day as the installation, yes, the team carry it their first thing. Will carry it first thing. And they attach it. Also something which will happen in the future. We will use will plus the verb. Now let's move to exercise 10. Rewrite these sentences to give the same meaning using the words in brackets. Let's read the first sentence. It's unlikely that engineers will invent a time machine in the future. Here I want you to use the word probably. Probably. So, all you have to do is to remove the word unlikely and use probably. But when do we use probably? Good. The sentence will be engineers will probably, we will use probably after will. Engineers will probably not invent a time machine in the future. Okay? And you have to do the same with the rest of the sentences. Take your time to write the rest of the sentences in your notebook. Play the video again when you finish to check your answers. Welcome back, my dear students. Now let's check your answers. The answer to sentence number 1, as we did in the previous slide, engineers will probably not invent a time machine in the future. Can you read your answer to sentence number 2? Let's have a look at the answer. They will definitely manufacture an all-plastic car body someday. Number 3. It's unlikely that astronauts will be able to reach Mars in the next 20 years. 4. Sea levels will probably rise at least 0.2 meters in the next 50 years. 5. It's certain that Beijing won't make another Olympic bid in the next 20 years. The last one, it's probable that an asteroid won't strike the Earth in the next 100 years. Now let's move to exercise number 11. Rewrite these headings or captions, changing the nouns in italics into verbs. Use the active or passive as appropriate. Let's have a look at sentence number 1. The extrusion of aluminum sheet. So, it will be how aluminum sheet is extruded. You have to do the same with the rest of the sentences. Take your time. When you finish, play the video again to check your answers. Now, let's check your answers. Number 1, how aluminum sheet is extruded. Number 2, how diesel oil is injected into the engine cylinder. Number 3, how land vehicles are propelled by the wind. Number 4, how boat propellers rotate in turbulent. 5, how pilots are ejected from damaged planes. 6, how survivors are transferred from the sea to the hospital. 7, how steel beams expand at high temperatures. 8, how agricultural sensors are inserted into the ground. Now let's move to exercise 12. Discuss the 4 stages of this process. Make notes. You can use your notebook to write notes. You have to study the diagram carefully before you begin writing your notes and your sentences. How many processes do we have? How many stages do we have? We have here 4 stages. The first stage is input. The second one is reduction. The third one is sterilization. The last stage is removal. Please write the sentences and write your notes in your notebook. When you finish, please play the video back again to check your answers. Welcome back. Now let's check and have a look at some suggested answers. Stage 1, input. What happens in this stage? The waste material is carried to the top of the hopper by a conveyor belt. It is then poured into the hopper, where it sinks down towards the cutter. Stage number 2, reduction. The material moves between a ruler and a cutter, where it is cut into very small pieces and the volume is reduced. Stage number 3, sterilization. Now the waste is sprayed and sterilized. It moves down through a cylinder and falls into a rotating cool tank. Here the waste is mixed with the sterilizing fluid and gases escape. The gases pass through a filter which cleans them. The final stage, removal. Finally, the sterilized material is removed from the kill tank and taken to a recycling plant. Now please open your workbook page 13, exercise 1. Which of these processes do the sentences below describe? Write the processes letter A to D next to the sentences. We have 4 processes here. Process A, injection molding. Process B, pressure die casting. Process C, metal rolling. Process D, blow molding. For example, sentence number 3, the warm softened polymer is moved along the cylinder by a rotating screw. We can find this sentence or this step in the injection molding process. Okay, now take your time to answer the rest of the sentences. When you finish, please play the video back again to check your answers. Now let's check your answers. Let's read the first sentence. The metal plate is first heated. Which process is this? It's metal rolling. Good. Number 2, the object, for example, plastic bottle, cools and is then ejected from the mold. Which process is that? Good, it's blow molding. Number 4, the molten metal is forced into the cavity between the 2 halves of the mold. It's good. B, pressure die casting. 5, compressed air is blown into the molten polymer and inflates it. It's D, blow molding. 6, the mold opens and the hard solid plastic object is ejected. It's A. Good. Let's move to number 7. Number 7, which process is that? Good. It's B, pressure die casting. 8, it's C, metal rolling. 9, it's D, blow molding. 10, it's B, pressure die casting. 11, it's C, metal rolling. The last one is injection molding. Now, in this exercise, in exercise number 2, we have to write the 3 steps for each process in the correct order. Let's start with the injection molding. What is the first step for injection molding? The first step is sentence number 3. Then the next step will be sentence number 12, and the final step is sentence number 6. Metal rolling, pressure die casting, the first step is sentence number 10, then sentence number 4, the final step is sentence number 7. Metal rolling, the first step is sentence number 1, the second step is sentence number 11, the final step is sentence number 8. Blow molding will be as follows. The first step is sentence number 5, the second step is sentence number 9, the final step is sentence number 2. Good. Now let's move to exercise number 3. This is an exciting one. You have to find the words in the puzzle and write them next to the definitions below. First, we have to find the words. After that, we have to write them next to the definitions. Take your time to do this exciting activity. When you finish, please play the video again to check your answers. Welcome back now. Let's check your answer. Number 2, an increase in size. What is this? What do we call this? We call this expansion. Expansion. Can you find expansion? Yes, here, expansion. Good. Number 3, a plastic composite. It's carbon fiber, as we studied in the unit. Can you find carbon fiber? Good, here, carbon fiber. Good. Number 4, a cylinder used to flatten a material. Ruler. Can you find it in the ruler? Good. 5, a disc that is pushed along a cylinder. We call it piston. Yes. Here. Good. 6, an enclosed space inside a machine. An enclosed space inside a machine. We call it a chamber. Yes, good. Number 7, to throw something out of a mold or machine. What do we call this? We call this eject. Good. Eject. 8, one of several parts that make up a machine. Component. Component. Yes, circle it. Number 9, to move something in one direction, for example, along a cylinder. Propel. Good. 10, to press something so that it takes up less space. To compress. Good. 11, to push something inside through a small hole. Inject. يحقن. Good. A chemical compound used for making plastics. Polymer. Excellent. That is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Till we meet again in a new lesson. Goodbye.